What if the reason you cry so easily isn't because you're too emotional, but because you're emotionally depleted? Most people watching this have already heard it way too many times. You're too sensitive. You're too emotional. You need to learn to control your emotions. And you tried. You spent years and years trying hard to feel less. But the tears keep coming. At work, in traffic, alone at night. Nobody ever told you that crying is the symptom. In this video, you will understand the 5 invisible triggers draining your emotional energy without you even noticing. They push your nervous system to use tears as its very last warning signal. Stay until the very end of this video. The 5th trigger is the one that goes most unnoticed, and it is very likely affecting you right now as you watch. If you are not subscribed here yet, do it now. Every single week, content that most people will never get to see. Chapter 1. You are carrying emotions that were never yours to carry. There is a concept called emotional contagion, and it is exactly what it sounds like. Emotions transfer from one person to another almost the same way viruses do. When you walk into a room where someone is tense, you feel that tension. Without a word, without any visible conflict. People with higher emotional sensitivity do this in a completely automatic and unconscious way, without even realizing. And the result? You end the day completely exhausted, even without any physical effort, even without a single argument. But wait, have you ever asked yourself where that exhaustion actually comes from? Researchers call it empathy fatigue. You absorbed your coworker's stress, your boss's anxiety, your mother's sadness, the collective fear from the news. You carried all of that weight. And it is not imaginary. It shows up in the tight muscles and the lump in your throat, in the tears that appear late at night with no clear reason. You are not crying because you are weak, not even a little. You are crying because you spent the entire day carrying emotions that were truly never ever yours to begin with. Chapter 2. You are still reacting to old wounds you thought had healed. Think of a familiar situation at work. You receive feedback at work. Simple, professional, no bad intent, but the reaction inside you is out of proportion. Your throat tightens, your eyes burn, and you have to leave the room so that nobody around you sees you fall apart. And you think, why did I react like that? It is ridiculous. Except it is not. There is a neuroscience answer for this. The nervous system does not store memories as text files. It stores them as full sensory and emotional experiences. When something in the present activates a pattern from the past, the same tone, the same judgment, the same rejection, where the brain does not separate past from present. It reacts as if the old danger is happening to you right now, today. How many times were you called too sensitive? How many times did you cry and someone said, "Stop being a crybaby"? How many times was your pain minimized, completely ignored, or used against you by the very people closest to you? Those experiences left a permanent mark on your nervous system, and they are still fully active inside you right now. Not because you cannot move on, but because the human brain is biologically wired to protect you from repeating pain. The past may be over in your conscious memory, but deep inside your nervous system, it is still happening today. Chapter 3. You never truly recover from emotional overload. Everyone knows the body needs rest. You sleep. You take time off. You spend a weekend doing nothing. But what about your emotions? When did they last get real rest? There is a key difference between physical rest and emotional rest. And most people never once stop to think about that. In psychology, it is called allostatic load, the slow accumulation of unprocessed emotional stress inside your system. Every unresolved situation, every feeling you pushed away, every moment you had to be strong when you wanted to break, every hard conversation you avoided, every boundary you never set for yourself, all of it accumulates over time. And you know what is most terrifying? It does not show up all at once. It builds slowly over weeks, months, and years, until one day you watch a stupid commercial and you cry, Or someone does something small and kind and you just cry. Or you are simply driving and the tears appear from nowhere. That is not weakness. That is your system at its limit. You are not broken at all. You are emotionally overloaded, and you never once had the real space to truly recover. Chapter 4. You spend enormous energy trying to be understood by people who genuinely cannot understand you. Think how many times you explained how you feel, and the response was, "You are overreacting. Stop being so dramatic." Instead of accepting they lack the emotional capacity, you try again. You rephrase it. You search for the right words. But then you ask me, why do we do that? Because emotional validation is a real human need, not weakness, not dependency. The human brain is wired to need connection and recognition deep down. The problem is not that you need validation. The problem is seeking it from people who are emotionally unavailable and burning enormous energy in that attempt. There is also what psychology calls emotional masking. When you learn to hide what you feel to avoid being judged. You smile when you are destroyed inside. You say you are fine when you are not. You minimize your own pain first. And maintaining that mask every single day is exhausting. Deeply, quietly, constantly exhausting inside and out. The constant need to justify what you feel, to prove your pain is real, is emotionally more expensive than you imagine. If this is making sense right now, drop a like and comment below which of these triggers hit closest to home for you. Chapter 5. You keep ignoring the early warning signs long before your emotional system finally breaks completely. This is the trigger that goes most unnoticed. Because tears are not the beginning of emotional exhaustion at all. They are the very end of it. Before you reach the point of crying over anything, your system already sent many alerts. You got irritated by small things. Out of proportion, you thought. You started needing more isolation than usual. You just want to be alone, you said. You felt that mental exhaustion that no amount of sleep could ever actually fix. You woke up tired. You went to bed tired. You struggled to enjoy things that used to bring you genuine happiness. Everything felt flat, empty, heavy. But those signals got interpreted as laziness, as weakness, as lack of willpower, and they were ignored completely. Until the system could not hold on anymore. And then the tears finally came. Psychology calls this affective exhaustion response. The moment your emotional system simply runs out of resources. To regulate emotions voluntarily, crying is no longer a choice. It becomes a survival reflex, your last internal alarm. So what do you do with all of this? First, stop treating the tears as the problem. They are not the problem at all. Tears are a message. And that message is not that you are weak or too emotional or somehow broken on the inside. The message is that you are overloaded. You absorbed too much. You tried to be strong for far too long, much too long. And your emotional system needs real care right now, not more suppression. The problem was never your sensitivity. The problem is that nobody ever taught you how to take care of it, or that taking care of it was even possible. You spent years thinking something was wrong with you, that you were broken, that you needed to stop feeling so much, and how to recover the energy that has slowly been drained from you over all this time. That is where healing starts. But maybe what you needed was not to feel less. Maybe what you needed was to finally understand why you feel this much. Before you go, answer this in the comments. Which of these 5 hidden triggers has been draining your energy the most? And how to recover the energy that has slowly been drained from you over all this time. That is where healing starts. If this video touched something you had been carrying without a name, leave a like and comment what hit you hardest. Before you go, answer this in the comments. Which of these 5 hidden triggers has been draining your energy the most? If this video touched something you had been carrying without a name, leave a like and comment what hit you hardest. And watch the video appearing on screen right now. It continues this exact conversation exactly where we left off. and watch the video appearing on screen right now. It continues this exact conversation exactly where we left off.